Hi, I'm Dave and I'm a home AV editor here at Crutchfield. Today I want to run down a lineup of integrated amplifiers from Arcam, the A5 Plus, the A15 Plus, and the A25 Plus. If you don't know Arcam, well, if you're into home audio gear, you really should. They're a British company that's been making amplifiers for 50 years and we're big fans. They also make excellent CD players and streamers, but amps and receivers are their bread and butter. The amps we're looking at today are part of Arcam's Radia Series, which they first introduced in 2023. That lineup refreshed the style of their components, giving them a clean, modern look while also focusing on ease of operation. Those original A5, A15, and A25 models were a big success, but Arcam wanted to add some features while also improving their performance. That brings us to these Plus models. Perhaps the biggest update is the addition of an HDMI eARC port on the A15 Plus and A25 Plus. Now it's not available on the A5 Plus. Sure, there are some audiophiles that would never connect a TV to their main system, but there are many music lovers who want a single system for listening to music and getting great TV sound. More manufacturers are coming out with 2-channel amps with HDMI connectivity, and I'm excited to see Arcam take this step. What about updates to sound quality? Arcam has made some changes that are designed to keep the noise floor of these amps as low as possible, while also eliminating interference that can cause distortion. These changes include some internal component upgrades, which expand as you move up the lineup. But I want to focus on a couple of particular features that are found in all three of these amplifiers. The first has to do with the digital inputs. Analog evangelists will tell you that when you introduce digital signal conversion or processing into an amplifier, you're also introducing noise of some form. Yes, these amps all have digital to analog converters, or DACs, under the hood. They're necessary for converting the digital signals coming in from a disc player or streamer into analog signals to send to the speakers. What's cool about these Plus Series amps is that they power down the internal DAC when you select an analog input. That keeps any noise from the DAC from interfering with the analog signal. Another concern we sometimes hear from 2-channel audio enthusiasts and audiophiles is, I don't want Bluetooth or HDMI in my amp because those modules introduce noise. So Arcam lets you turn those modules off too. Here's how it works. Each of those modules has an auto switch mode, which is on by default. For instance, if the amp is powered on and you start to play music from a Bluetooth connected phone, the amp will automatically switch to the Bluetooth input. Similarly, in the amps with HDMI connectivity, the amp can automatically power on and switch to the proper input when you turn on your TV. However, if you want to limit noise from those modules, you can simply turn off the auto switch feature for each one in the settings menu. That's a great way to let users have the benefits those features offer, while also giving you a way to limit any sound quality degradation they might cause. This next feature is important if you want to integrate one of these amps into a home theater system. Arcam calls it processor mode, but it's more commonly known as home theater bypass. It allows you to use one of these amplifiers as a power amp for your front speakers in a home theater system. You can connect the front left and right preamp outputs of your AV receiver to one of the analog inputs on the Arcam amp. Processor mode lets you adjust the volume of the amp to match the volume of your AVR, which would be powering the other speakers in your surround system. That's a feature we love to see in an integrated amp. Next, let's talk Bluetooth. Android users, pay attention. All three models in this lineup have Bluetooth, as well as aptX Lossless, which allows you to get CD quality audio from a Bluetooth signal, assuming your device is compatible. Also, there is two-way Bluetooth, so in addition to being able to stream music from your phone to the amp, you can send music from a connected source to Bluetooth headphones. In addition to Bluetooth, these Arcam amps have Auracast built in. This is a relatively new wireless audio protocol that uses Bluetooth Low Energy. It's designed to play an audio signal through different devices at the same time. We're starting to see Auracast in a lot more gear, which is a good sign for widespread adoption. I haven't tried it out with the Arcam or any other products yet, so I'm going to withhold judgment for now. But any technology that makes it easier to play music in more places is a good development. Keep in mind, there's no Wi-Fi on board in any of these amps. If you want to stream full bandwidth high-resolution music, you'll want to add a streaming device. Arcam's matching ST25 streamer is a natural fit. In terms of physical inputs, they are mostly the same across all three amps in this series. They all have 3 pairs of analog RCA inputs, plus a phono input. On the digital side, they each have 2 coaxial and 1 optical input. That's plenty of connectivity. The A25 Plus also adds a USB-C input for connecting a computer. Each amp in the lineup has a headphone output. It's a 3.5mm jack, not a full size. Yes, you can listen to headphones and speakers at the same time, but by default, the speakers are muted when you plug in the headphones. There's a pair of preamp outputs in case you want to add an external power amp. There's no dedicated subwoofer output. That's a little surprising. I wouldn't mind seeing one, along with some bass management settings built into these amps. But the preamp outputs mean you can still connect to sub. You'll just have to set the crossover on the sub itself. Okay, now let's talk about power. The A5 Plus offers 50 watts per channel. The A15 Plus steps up to 80 watts per channel, and the A25 Plus will give you 100 watts per channel. I always believe that more power is better, but if you have efficient speakers, I'm confident the A5 Plus will give you what you need. There is one difference in the amplifier section. While the A5 Plus and A15 Plus are Class AB amps, the A25 Plus uses Class G. While Class AB is extremely common in component-style amps, Class G is a little different and new to many people. It has two power supplies. It uses the first power supply up to a certain point. If more power is needed, then the second power supply is called into action. Think of it like a turbo boost for your amplifier. Based on customer reviews of the A25, which also used Class G amplification, I think it's safe to say that the amp's performance puts to rest any doubt folks may have had about this technology. Okay, enough about features and specs. Let's talk about aesthetics. I gotta say, I love the look of these amps. The black aluminum chassis is pretty slick. The display on the front panel is large enough to read from across the room, which is very important when you're tweaking settings. I love the big chunky volume and source knobs. I'm not sure I'd buy an amp without a volume knob at this point. Also, I can attest these things are very well built. They're rock solid, weighing in at about 20 pounds each. Plus the 5-year warranty ought to tell you that these are built to last. The remote's a bit small. That seems to be a trend in recent years, but while I love a large remote with tons of buttons, the Arcam remote is easy to use. It just takes a few minutes to get used to what button does what. So if you're in the market for a 2-channel amp, I recommend giving these Arcam models a close look. The company simply knows amplification. And the combination of versatile features along with the attention to detail when it comes to sound quality is particularly attractive. I think the A15 Plus is the sweet spot of this lineup with HDMI, plenty of power, and some smart internal upgrades for better sound. But like I said, I'm always tempted to step up to more power. If you have any questions about these Arcam amplifiers or finding the right gear for your system, give us a call.